Both Cade McNamara and J.J. McCarthy saw some time against the Rams of Colorado State in Michigan's home opener. Michigan obviously won the game 51-7. Despite the blowout here, the result left a lot of people talking about the ongoing quarterback battle between Cade McNamara and J.J. McCarthy. If you missed my videos ahead of the home opener, check those out in the description below where I go through in detail the case for both quarterbacks and my position. In this video, I'll analyze the play of both quarterbacks in this first game. I'll go through each set of meaningful plays that we saw. I'll describe my feelings on their play overall, and finally, who is ahead? Where do we stand now? Where do we go from here? All right, let's dive right in. We'll start with Cade McNamara. I'm going to have a tally at the top of the screen somewhere. Okay, it's going to be somewhere up here. Cover the different types of throws. Bucket them into accurate, inaccurate, catchable, inaccurate, not catchable, throwaways, sacks, things of that nature. I'll be doing this for both quarterbacks, okay? Starting off this first play here, 5 wide, 2nd and 6. Comes off his first read. Cade McNamara delivers to Cornelius Johnson. It's off his knee right there. So this throw, I'm going to bucket into inaccurate but catchable, right? So no issues on the actual play itself, right? He's reading top of the screen. We can't really see the route that he's looking at. Looks like his eyes are probably on this cornerback. He might be looking at this safety as well to try to see this route combination between Eric All. This might be, I think, Ronnie Bell here at the top of your screen. So no issues with him coming off of that. He sees something he doesn't like, sees the coverage. Now he's ducking out. Finds a good option here with Cornelius Johnson, but the ball's low, right? It is low. It bounces off his knee. So to me, this is catchable. It is inaccurate. So that starts with Cade McNamara. A higher throw here doesn't put the wide receiver in a bind. So I put that as inaccurate but catchable, right? Need to throw a better ball in that scenario, no doubt here. Second play here, 3rd and 6, very next play. Timing just seems off here, right? Trying to find Cornelius Johnson again. Let's back up a little bit. It looks like Cornelius Johnson on this route gets derailed a little bit. Good job from the defensive back. I almost expect him to turn outwards here towards the sideline, right? This is clearly the first read for Cade McNamara. For whatever reason, the timing just seems off, right? So this one I'm going to call simply inaccurate, right? That is way too tough of a ball for the wide receiver. The timing here just seems to be a little bit off. And maybe that's because of the aggressive nature of the defensive back there. But it just seems a little bit off and more outside than what Cornelius Johnson was expecting. So that one's definitely inaccurate. Even though he got a couple hands on it, I'm going to put that as not catchable. Okay. So that's the second one. Bummer on your first possession to punt like that. Okay. Next time we get a throw here, Roman Wilson. Good timing, good ball, right where it needs to be. Roman Wilson does the rest, right? This is obviously a receiving touchdown for Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson does all the work here. One thing to call out, look at these blocks, right? You got Ronnie Bell doing a really good job on the outside here. Cornelius Johnson, they each man up their guy, get big blocks, and that's really what makes the difference on this play, taking it from a relatively big pickup to a touchdown. So good job from both wide receivers there, giving enough room for Roman Wilson to show off that speed, get in the end zone. The pass, nothing special, but hey, delivered it on time. Accurate ball. Here, 1st and 10 in the red zone. This is a bad one, all right? This technically is catchable, so it will go in the inaccurate catchable bucket because, this does hit both hands of Cornelius Johnson, but again, this starts with Cade McNamara. You need to hit this, right? With this route combo, I'm not going to really look at these guys. These guys are doing some sort of route combo here, Ronnie Bell. Then you got a little sit route here from your tight end, crossing route here from Cornelius Johnson, Blake Corum out of the backfield. So what Cade McNamara is looking at here is for this crossing route from Cornelius Johnson. He gets it. It's man coverage. So getting underneath those linebackers in that man coverage. Look at the separation that Cornelius Johnson coming across the middle here. He has a ton of separation. Deliver this ball in front of him, and he probably does have, at the very least, a touchdown, or at very least a first down, very likely a touchdown. He's got good speed. If you just deliver this out in front, get him in stride, that's a lot of green grass in front of him. So this is one you can't miss, right? So even though, to me, it's technically catchable, that's a big miss, right? And you leave points on the board. Now we're on that same drive, 3rd and 10. Here, again, this is a really unfortunate situation. I'm going to call this inaccurate but catchable because of the slip here. Okay, some people I saw were saying like, no, this is way behind him. I think this is an accurate throw if Eric All doesn't slip, right? If you look at where he's throwing, it's from the hash. It's going to end up at right about the 3-yard line there. So if you draw a line from where this ball is going, right, from here, and it's going, oh, this is a terrible line. I should not have done this. But to right here, right, this is about the location of Eric All for this pass. So to me, this is an accurate ball. It's just really, really unfortunate timing that Eric All does stumble there. Now, I still think the pass is probably a little high, right? He's starting to stand up here. I think Eric All will probably be able to make that catch if he doesn't stumble. It's unfortunate, right? So I'm calling that still inaccurate because I think the ball's a little high, but this is more unfortunate, right? Even so, it is 3rd and 10. Again, we can't see down the field to see if Roman Wilson is coming open. It does seem like he might, right? Because he's got kind of this corner route going here. You have a single high safety. It seems like this would potentially be open. The initial read is here on 3rd and 10. Is this really the best option to Eric All when you have all these bodies, right? So from both a decision-making standpoint and just maybe a little bit too high of a throw, it's a really unfortunate play. Thankfully, it was dropped and not an actual interception. So yeah, I'm bucketing that as inaccurate and catchable if he doesn't stumble, but still not the best throw there. Here, good ball there to Schoonmaker. Nothing really to dive into on that one. Just across the middle, appropriate check down here. Nice slant, a little bit behind. I'm going to call this one accurate, but a little bit behind, but still like on the number. Ronnie Bell is able to catch that in stride. Doesn't have to adjust his stride there. Great to have Ronnie Bell back. So well-timed ball in general. Here, a little play-action pass. Cade McNamara. Good ball here. Probably his best throw on the day, honestly, or maybe second best, but good loft over that linebacker. Gets to Cornelius Johnson. That's a good ball. Here, drops back again. Good find. Again, I'll put this inaccurate. It's still a little inaccurate, right? You want this more on the numbers, more on his face mask. It's a little high. It's a little scary with the trajectory with this linebacker behind him, right? That's not really where you want to put that. You want to put it a little lower. If this sails beyond him, you're looking like it's a little shaky, right? But good job finding the check down. 2nd and 4. Your objective here with a little bit of pressure is get the ball out, get a first down. That's what Blake Corum provides you. Here, 3rd and goal. This one is a little bit of mixed that I've seen in reactions, right? So clearly the pocket is collapsing on you because this defensive end is working inside of Eric All as well right here. There's no real room to really step up here. Yes, you do have your running back in pass protection as well, but really him ducking out is the only way that he can get out of this, right? So he's trying to read over on this side of the field because Colorado State gets some pressure here off this left edge that forces McNamara out, and there's nothing really there. So in terms of any like criticism on McNamara on this play, I don't really see it. He's got a lot of pressure. He has to duck out. And I don't even see if someone like Cade or JJ McCarthy had the ball in this scenario, what he would have done to avoid this. Here is the all-22 view of this. So you tell me where he could throw the ball here, right? He sees the pressure right here. This is too early to make a call. The only real argument you might have is trying to duck it in back here, but you have this safety dropping back exactly here, and that's a really risky throw to Roman Wilson with this guy shifting back into that area right around the H of Michigan. So he's already having to duck out because that defensive end is getting depth around that left side of the offensive line. So I don't really see this as a realistic throw to Roman Wilson heading to the other side of the hash across body. I just don't see it. So to me, this is an appropriate throwaway. So I'm putting that in throwaway appropriate in that bucket. 2nd and 7 here in the second quarter. Here, that's an accurate ball, just dropped, right? Hits right off his face mask. Nothing you can do there. Accurate ball. Got to do that in 2nd and 7. Got to catch that if you're Ronnie Bell. Here, just a sack, okay? Again, you could say maybe get the ball out earlier to Eric All, like right now. But he's getting barreled down on, right? And that's not what you want out of your right tackle. Trent Jones has to be a little bit better there. Not enough. His feet are too are not moving enough. Not a good enough kick step from Trent Jones. Just gets beat to the outside, right? Watch his feet here. His butt's going to raise up a little bit. Not getting his feet chopping enough here. gets caught a little bit too static there. And number 2 is able to get, or 42 is able to get a little bit of leverage. So that one's just a straight up sack. Offensive line needs to do better. And McNamara, great name. All right, 2nd and 5 here, end of the second quarter. Here, good ball. He has to roll out a little bit. Again, there's some pressure coming. Good ball here to Eric All. I'm putting that one as accurate. Really good catch from Eric All. Again, we can't see downfield on a lot of these, so it's hard to judge whether there are missed opportunities or not. So I'm not really judging it based off of that. I'm saying, okay, was this throw accurate? This is really the only spot that ball could be, and a hell of a catch from Eric All to get that and pick up a good amount of yards after the catch as well. Here, a quick out to Cornelius Johnson. That's on target. Good pitch and catch here. 2nd and 6. This one, I'm calling this throwaway appropriate. It's hard to say. He has his first read out here on these defensive backs, so not sure what he's looking at here. This is a quick route. He doesn't like what he sees, and by the time that he is trying to come off of that read, that's when the pressure is being applied again off that right edge. Trent Jones getting beat again at, 7-8 yards depth. So not a whole lot for him to do. You could maybe argue that there is a way for Cade McNamara to duck out this way to try to extend the play, right? Find someone like this. In my eyes, because you have this guy coming as well, this is an appropriate throwaway with that pressure coming. Okay, he was getting hit there at the throw. Okay, here, Cade McNamara going out to the right. Again, just not the best protection here. This is one where I am going to say this is a missed opportunity. Okay, so pocket collapses. You got some options here, especially on the crossing route here from Cornelius Johnson. You're going to see Roman Wilson kind of on a comeback route or a corner route. Not sure exactly what he's running because, again, these camera angles are kind of butt. But Cade McNamara rolling out to the right because of some of this pressure, and he just, throws it into the stands, right? So this is one where it looks like you do have some separation here, right? Cornelius Johnson, he's got some separation here with the defensive back. You got Roman Wilson up here as well. At least put it in this area, right? There's no defensive backs here. At the very least, just lay it up here for Cornelius Johnson. Give your wide receivers a chance here, right? Maybe he could have also beaten number 90 here, right? This is a defensive tackle, I believe. Maybe he could have beaten him if he continued to run here. You think he would probably have the speed to beat him out? If not, JJ McCarthy certainly would. So this I'm putting in throwaway missed opportunity because I think he gave up on the play a little bit too early and put the ball in a location where nobody can make a play on it, where he could have put the ball in a location where just his wide receivers could make a play on it, right? You got two offensive hats here, a lot of open space here. Put the ball here, throw it up, make it a little, you don't have to throw it on a rope, just kind of lay it up there and give your wide receivers a chance to make a play on the ball. And so I'm putting that in missed opportunity. 3rd and 6, again, coming away with just a field goal where possibly could have gotten a touchdown if you make a little bit more daring of a play here. Okay, here we go. Little play action, little screen to Roman Wilson. Fine, right? Accurate. Did what you had to do as quarterback. Here, nice little dump off there. Edwards. This one's accurate, right? No issues on this ball. Again, we can't really read what's going on. Maybe you could argue that Schoonmaker here had some space, but again, we can't tell what's going on out here. So in terms of judging whether this was the right decision or not, it's hard to say. 3rd and 5, though, plenty of room here to Donovan Edwards, so the throw itself was accurate. Big issue here, though, is Donovan Edwards needs to just dive. Just get upfield, know the down and distance, right? It's 3rd down. This is the line to gain. Don't try to do everything and make it a home run to the sideline. Understand your role, and getting the 1st down is the priority on 3rd down. So instead, he gets to the line to gain, then gives up some ground, and forces Michigan to hurry up for a 4th and short. They do pick it up, but something just to keep in mind for the future for Donovan Edwards. Here, I'm putting this as accurate because I don't see the rest of the field. I don't know who's open here. Could have been called defensive pass interference. It was thrown to the only side where your wide receiver had a chance on the ball. So I'm calling this accurate. It was broken up. I don't see any other real options there for Cade McNamara. Okay. So this is a rough approximation. Okay. A couple of these categories where I bucketed them in. A couple of them may be optimistic. without downfield, all 22 angles on all of these pass plays, I can't definitively say that his decision making was 100% or there were missed chances, right? I just can't do that. So I can only analyze what I am seeing and what is actually on the screen. My breakdown would be the following. Number one, more inaccurate than you would want him to be, right? Being a steady, consistent, little things perfect quarterback is what won him the battle in the 2021 season. Inaccuracy is a really good way to lose your job. Not as much room to make those mistakes this year as JJ McCarthy ascends. Number two here, timing seemed a bit off on a number of those inaccurate balls. And even some of those ones that I put into the accurate bucket, the timing could have been a little bit better. Didn't necessarily look comfortable out there. Hopefully that will come with time, but something to keep an eye on moving forward. Number three, it wasn't a make plays day for Cade McNamara. There were a few plays where McNamara maybe could have tried to extend the play a bit more or just make something happen instead of a throwaway. There were no shots downfield, though again, we couldn't see much, but there weren't a lot of things that really separated McNamara from a throwing perspective to J.J. McCarthy. And then number four here, nothing much on his feet, right? You'll notice there were no scrambles, no designed runs for him. Hard to say because seemingly few designed run plays were called for him, but keeping defenses honest with his legs would be a good way to fend J.J. McCarthy off. Clearly wasn't something that was showcased in this game, okay? So now let's move on to this same list, but this time they're the same categories here, and let's go through the plays for J.J. McCarthy. Okay, starting off here, J.J. McCarthy actually handing the ball off to C.J. Stokes. So this isn't actually a J.J. McCarthy play, but one thing to just call out with the defense's reaction, look at both of these ends coming off here, and they're going to be staying home for the threat of J.J. McCarthy running. So that's just something to point out what his presence on the offense actually brings, right? This is going to be a big pickup for CJ Stokes here, but the presence of JJ McCarthy just brings a different threat that can open other things up for the offense. Something to always bring up because it's a huge part of what he brings to the offense. Here's second play. Here he is keeping again. Notice this defensive end crashing down, right? He's going to be taking CJ Stokes. You got a nice block here from Schoonmaker, and then you got a 2-on-1 extending to the linebacker, and that means money for J.J. McCarthy on the ground. So he's going to keep that. Again, you're just threatening the defense a little bit more with those legs. J.J. McCarthy showing a little bit of wiggle, avoiding the safety there, picking up the score. Here again, a little play action, and this is, again, showing just a little bit more dynamic of an offering that you give J.J. McCarthy. Because you have Bredesen here off the play action as well, because you have Bredesen threatening the flats here, this guy needs to make a decision to follow. Because of that, you get a wide open lane again against a linebacker for J.J. McCarthy. And again, that just makes you that much better as an offense. Now, one thing I like to see here, okay, you did your job. You picked up 9 yards, 10 yards, slide. Get down, right? Just get down. Understand when you've won the play, and when it's 37-0 in this scenario, your priority should be your health. And I think that's also something to consider when you're choosing your starting quarterback, who makes plays that are most efficient and protecting your offense. Sometimes protecting the offense is protecting yourself, right? And knowing the situation, knowing that it's 37-0 and an extra 3 yards is not worth risking putting my body on the line, right? So he doesn't. He gets hit here. Something he'll just have to refine to ensure that he's protecting his body a little bit better. But still great play for him. Here, first throw that we actually see extending a little bit. Accurate ball, a little bit low, but accurate ball there, picking up a few yards. Good open field tackle, but Bredesen picks up a couple yards here. Here, another read here with Donovan Edwards. Now, this one I actually think he got wrong, right? You can see his eyes. He's keying off of this defensive end here. I think he actually should have given this ball up to Edwards. You got a combo block 1 and 2 that will extend up to the safety. Good block here on your left side. So you should have a lane open here for Donovan Edwards if you give here, because this guy is staying home, right? He's not charging into the backfield. He is staying home, and if he's staying home, that threatens your keep to the outside. Now, it works out because J.J. McCarthy is a 5-star athlete, and he can make guys from Colorado State miss, right? But against better teams, might not be the right play because there was a lot of open space here for Edwards to do some work. But hey, That's what an athlete like JJ McCarthy can bring you. Even when you maybe don't make the right read, he can make up for it with his athleticism. Again, not something to ignore. Here, nice little screen pass to Andrel Anthony. That's accurate, no qualms there. Here, another one, probably one of his best throws, just a simple first read here on the out route. Some space there for A.J. Henning. Well-delivered ball. That's accurate. That's a first down on 3rd and 5. Good pickup. 1st and 10 here. From under center, little play action pass here. And here's actually, I think, the absolute best play if you're saying, well, why would you want possibly J.J. McCarthy over Cade McNamara? Remember the earlier play where it's like, oh, maybe Cade McNamara would have thrown the ball away in this scenario. Trent Jones again gets beat off the edge, and McCarthy makes it look pretty easy avoiding this, right? If this is Cade McNamara, he might throw this ball away, and understandably so, but you got a running back leaking out. Just use those wheels a little bit, break the pocket, and you got a lot of open space here. That's what J.J. McCarthy can do, right? Again, not always the best call, but in this scenario, right, he's able to use that athleticism to break that and find an open C.J. Stokes for a big gain. So that's a big deal, and not something to look down on or ignore at all. So for my full breakdown here for J.J. McCarthy, number one, you see his effect on the defense, right? His presence just opens up the run. He did have one wrong read that I called out there, but again, athleticism makes up for a lot of things, and it does against teams like Colorado State at least. And he's a legit home run threat from the ground this year with his speed. Number two here, didn't see a whole lot in his pass game, right? But he didn't make any mistakes. He didn't throw far down the field, so that's still a to be determined, at least this season. Not a lot of read progression that we saw. It was usually first reads that he was throwing to. But his throws were accurate, right? He was only 4 for 4, but for those 4 passes, accurate, appropriate, did his job. And number 3 here, extend the play ability was there, right? Especially that last play, escaping the pocket, finding open receiver out of the backfield. That's huge. That's a huge feather in his cap versus Cade McNamara, and something that he should look to continue to display to win this battle. If he wants to win this battle, obviously he does. So where am I at, right, after this game? Where is Steven at with this QB battle? There's 2 aspects of this offense right now that is out of Cade McNamara's control that work in favor of McCarthy. Number 1, the offensive line, right? Trent Jones, I pointed him out. He was having some issues in pass protection. Run blocking overall wasn't as dominant. Carson Barnhart was out with an injury. So the weaker the offensive line is in general, the more dynamic your QB needs to be. In the run game, you need that quarterback threat to open up a little bit more at that second level. To threaten the defense with your quarterback will just provide more success in both your running game and the passing game. In pass protection breakdowns, a mobile quarterback gives you that chance to escape the pocket, to make things happen with your legs. So unlike last year where the offensive line was the best in the nation, you can use more of that pocket passer, but when you start having breakdowns, you need someone who's able to offset some of those mistakes with that athleticism that a guy like J.J. McCarthy does have. And number 2 here is a lack of a moose back, right? Hassan Haskins, the 6'2", 230-pound back who can pick you up those yards on 3rd and short. Having Haskins was an enormous safety blanket. Michigan simply doesn't have that this year, right? How can you really get those short yardage without that short yardage back? You can threaten your quarterback as a runner, right? It's, again, just providing that additional threat the defense has to respect that will just open up the run game a little bit more. And that may be how Michigan needs to approach that, especially when you get into those short yardage and those red zone situations. It just makes you a little bit more dynamic. So neither of those things, 1 or 2 here, are McNamara's fault. It really isn't. It's just a couple of things that makes a guy with the skill set of J.J. McCarthy a bit more attractive, okay? So for me, I just need to see more of McCarthy, right? See him push the field, get extended run. I want to see him go through his read progressions over the course of a full drive and multiple drives in a game. I'm excited to see how he would do in that scenario, and that's why for the Hawaii game, I'll be eyes glued to the TV for sure. To me, McCarthy's ahead of this battle, both for those things outside of McNamara's control, and McNamara wasn't doing the little things that he did pretty well last year. He was missing a little bit. So to me, McCarthy's ahead. He's going to have a chance to solidify that a bit against Hawaii. So that's it. That's all I got. What are your thoughts? Am I fair? Am I crazy? Anything you disagree with? Put them in the comments below. Throw a like on this video if you like this kind of content. Subscribe to the channel as well. Should have more analysis videos soon. Beyond that, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Thank you to everyone who's added comments on Twitter, at Steven Toski if you want to follow me there, at Maze Blue Review for everything we have going. Become a subscriber. I'm active on the boards there as well. Beyond that, thanks again. Stay safe out there. As always, go blue.